majority of us are high school teachers, so we were just discussing how to implement it in the high school setting, because we think that it would be a lot easier to implement at the elementary school level. So we were thinking maybe just maybe getting the chaplain to get it started, or doing meditation Mondays at the start of first period. So my question is, how did you implement it at the high school level to get the entire school on board?
Okay, when we first introduced meditation, it was right across the diocese. We didn't start in grade 1 and let those kids go through. So every school in all 35 schools started once. And the first year was the hardest, because we're introducing the practice to all. Now, the teacher in grade 10 doesn't have to do anything virtually, because the kids now have been meditating for 10 years. You know, they've been at school for 10 years. So, and you saw the girl on there, she was in grade 11, she's been doing it since she was in grade 1. So it's a natural one. So we don't have to, in fact, the secondary schools, because the kids do it and like it so much in the elementary school, that they demand that they get it in the high school. So the secondary schools have to come on board, so they need to do it. But look, they do it in a number of ways. The kids are getting older, so quickly we introduce them that they can start taking control of their own spiritual lives, so that and their leaders often will do it. There's a Christian Brothers Boys School, and they've got a really unique way of doing it. Their school captains are leaders, spiritual leaders as well, and they lead meditation every Friday morning outside under a mango tree. You do that in Canada, kids could die. But a mango, and sometimes they have 100 kids meditating before school. They go there, and sometimes they may only have 5 or so, but they take leadership of that. And they've done a really interesting thing. They put a sign up, because the school is on a really busy road, so they've taken this chance to evangelise Townsville, if you like. And they get very creative about their times, about their signs. Sometimes they'll simply say, "Shh, we're meditating," or "Don't press your horn, we're being quiet," or "Why don't you turn your radio off and be quiet?" Or "We're meditating, it's good for you, why don't you join us?" So they change it around all the time, and people now go past and they often tell me, this week they're telling us we should do this, and people in my office sort of come past and they share with me what sign they put up this week. So the kids take leadership. We say that not just the religion and education teacher, all our teachers are teachers of meditation. Okay, so a lot of our senior teachers, when they have a double physics lesson, they will break it up and break their lesson with a 5-minute meditation. Now remember, we're trying to build on 1 minute per chronological age. So if a kid's 5 years old, they should meditate by the end of, it's aspirational, by the end of their grade 1, they'd be still silent and simply saying their mantra for 5 minutes. When they're in year 12, they're 18, so it's aspirational that they are meditating for 18 minutes. So if you're 60, for an adult is the optimum time is 20 to 30 minutes. So 25 minutes is a perfect time for adults. But the teachers build them up. Again, now secondary school, now they're used to it, they know. So you try to, but any meditation is good. So they may meditate for 5 minutes like we did this morning in between a lesson, and the physics teacher says, well, it helps them focus more, and the kids themselves do it. In exam times, when we have exam blocks in, the kids will say, let's meditate. And so they, before school or before their exam, they might take 10 minutes of meditation, because it really helps them hone their attention and brings them down and helps relieve their anxiety, and so that they sort of go into their exam. The secondary schools have brought back in beautifully, I'm so pleased. Over the years, once upon a time, retreats were a really big part of being in a Catholic school. Over the years, they become leadership camps or activity camps or music camps, and the spiritual exercises gone out. With this form of prayer, it's revitalised the interest in retreats, and now we have spiritual retreats just for spiritual retreats, and meditation is the core of that. So the kids will meditate 3 times a day, for 18 minutes if they're year 12 or whatever. And that becomes part of their retreat activity, and it's a core part of it. Plus a whole lot of other things. And then sometimes homeroom. Do you have homeroom? Where you have to get your role marked and that sort of thing. So a lot of our teachers will be doing, and some whole schools say that's a quiet time. They don't ring the bell. They know that they could be meditating, so it's a quiet time in the morning. Okay, and the office, some school offices, some principals love it. They introduce the great silence. So, like from 8:30 to whatever, there may be a group of teachers or whoever's in the office may meditate, but other people are supposed to be quiet. So even though you're not meditating, your psyche is, well, someone is though, and so it just means that everyone comes down a little bit, right? And then of course the RE teacher does meditate. So that's just a few ways, but they're not the only. Our teachers are great, and they art teachers love to meditate before they paint, and that's so they actually do, and then they believe they're richer in ready to be more creative. Okay, so there's no simple answer. There's many answers, and see these